Hello and welcome to my video project number 2. My name is Dustin O'Reilly and today we'll be going through some applications of management in real life. I'll be going through some core concepts that we have seen throughout our management course here at St. Lawrence. So to begin, I'll be giving a brief overview of what will be seen in this video. First, I'll be going through my desired career. I will then be explaining some core concepts on Chapter 17 regarding managing information in the global world. I'll be indicating some methods to capture information effectively and efficiently throughout an organization. I will then be linking that to some entrepreneurial uses. Thereafter, I'll go ahead and explain some core concepts on Chapter 14 about leadership. I'll be explaining on how leaders are different from managers. I'll then proceed by explaining some characteristics of a good leader, some benefits of a good leader, and then I'll be linking that to some entrepreneurial uses as well. And I'll be following that by a short conclusion. So, to begin, my desired career is to be an entrepreneur later on in life. I would most likely like to have my own manufacturing company. I'm not sure exactly in what industry yet, but probably somewhere around the food industry maybe, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd like to manage and lead over 30 employees. I would also like to have many clients to manage. And I also want to do business on an international level and most likely import or export to foreign countries. So, Chapter 17, Managing Information in a Global World. So there's basically two methods of capturing information. You can either do it manually or electronically. In today's day and age, most information is captured electronically, but some people still do it manually. So when you do it manually, data is entered by hand. It's slow. It's extremely costly because you have to go through every single product and enter every information by hand. It's also labor intensive because of that. And since people are writing it by hand, it's very prone to errors. When you enter information electronically, it's instant entries. It's very accurate compared to manual entries. It also saves money because you have reduced labor hours because of how long it takes to enter information in every single product. So here are some methods of capturing information. There's three main methods. The first one is barcodes. Then you have radio frequency identification tags, and then you have electronic scanners. The barcode is instant entries with handled with scanners. It reduces data zeros up to 75% according to the MGT book. However, it requires to be in line of sight of the barcode. Whereas radio frequency identification tags, there's no line of sight required. You can be up to several thousand meters away and the product will still register in your machine. However, it's costly, very, very costly to implement throughout your whole organization. You also have electronic scanners, which are inexpensive and easy to use, and it's to easily convert text and pictures into digital documents, so you can modify them on your computer afterwards. Here are some potential entrepreneur uses for that. First, I found that it would probably minimize the cost of recording information, especially since I'll be in manufacturing. It'll be really important to try to keep costs down. It's easy to use as well. Also, increase accuracy and reliability of the information regarding my inventory and all my products I have on hand. It'll help me to navigate through my data compared to entering it manually. And it's also to be able to remain competitive within the industry and to increase my productivity. Alright, I'll proceed on to Chapter 14 on leadership. So there's a few key differences between managers and leaders. Some people get these two elements wrong and they mix and they confuse them because they're almost the same, but there's some big difference between managers and leaders. So managers, their main goal is to get work done through others, where leaders, it is to influence others to achieve goals. Managers are there to do things right, whereas leaders are there to get doing things right, the right things. Managers focus on problem solving, whereas leaders focus more on the change. Managers are builders, where leaders are more there to inspire and motivate employees. Managers are also focused on short-term goals, whereas leaders are more there for the long-term orientation. Here are some characteristics of a good leader. So first, you'd have drive. They have to have the desire to lead. They got to be honest and have integrity. They got to have a lot of self-confidence. They also have to be emotionally stable. They have to have a cognitive ability. They also have to have a deep knowledge of their environment so they know what they are dealing with. They also have to have the ability to adapt their leadership style to different situations at hand. The benefits for an organization of a good leader there are many. I found a couple here. The first, to improve the subordinate performance, increase productivity. It all inspires and motivates employees to stretch themselves on important projects, so it increases their overall satisfaction rate and also their production rate. It increases employee satisfaction and retention rate. It increases employee engagement. It also helps foster new ideas within employees. So some entrepreneur uses to that I found that it's important to know the difference between a good manager and a good leader as well, because there's key differences that's essentially important to know. Having a good leader increases employee satisfaction, which increases client satisfaction in return. Also, a leader will provide clear direction for a company so employees know where they are headed. It's also important to be aware of the characteristics of a good leader in order to know how to properly manage employees and to motivate them. So in conclusion, I found that theory of learn is closely related to reality, and I think I'll be definitely using this in my future company, manufacturing. I've also learned various ways to capture data electronically, which I was not aware of before of how those methodologies work. It also showed me what it takes required to be a good leader. And I also found that I'm pretty sure that having a strong leader is essential for the growth of a business nowadays. Here's my works cited. Thank you very much for watching.